Me for adventure.
Wow.
You wear the crown. And now all your children are here. Every stinking one of them. To honor your birthday and to tell some really good stories about life with Mom. So, without any further ado, Doris Norma Jean Crimmins, this is your life.
Oh no!
We are. We're going to start with your oldest son and your second son and okay. This should bring back a little bit of a memory. Okay. James?
Hey, man.
Oh my God! We want a picture of that, don't we?
You want to go outside like that?
And now your second son has something to say.
Oh.
Remember. Okay, I remember when we were little that you used to have dark hair, and when you changed it to blonde, it seems we really didn't care. We always had tons of clothes to wash, and of course iron too. And then Nancy came along, now more diapers. Wow, P.U. We were all crammed up in that little house on the corner of Elmhurst. It was time to move to a bigger home, brand new, now that's a first. I remember walking home for lunch and having waffles with butter and brown sugar too. It's still one of my favorites today, that's all because of you. Then you had to go to work at the post office, no less. I couldn't wait till you got home, those hugs were always the best. Now my mom is famous because she's in the Plymouth Observer. I didn't know why, I didn't care, I just knew she was in the paper. Then our life had changed, you and Dad got a divorce, but you met the love of your life, and that was Mart, of course. So then we packed things up and you had to move away. Now I know how hard it was when me and Jamie decided to stay. Then you had a baby at the young age of 42. Not another diaper, it was Matthew again. Now you're in Port Huron, that's pretty much where you'll stay. You allowed me to move in with you to finish my school days. You tried to help me in every way you could, and I acted like I didn't care. But deep down I did. I was just a mixed-up kid who was in a world of despair. Then it was graduation, and I finally made it through. But the best part of all is how it inspired you to do too. Now you have gone on, and we have all gone on and went our separate ways. But still we tried to get together on certain holidays. And who would have thought that I would make you the first great-grandmother? I think it's time the rest of you start making her another. These are just a few memories of my life I have of you. Through all the years of hard times, you seem to always make it through. So there's only one thing left that I really have to say, that you're the greatest mom of all. Happy 70th birthday.
Yeah, well, not for the anticlimactic. That's all 1, 2, 3, what he said.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you were.
No. Yes. Now, she knows we yours is then?
Well, I mean,
Get up there.
Get up there.
okay, here's your oldest daughter.
Yeah.
The real oldest.
You've already seen it, but I think one of the things that I always remembered was when we did get together at Mom's, it was always nice. We always had fun. We enjoyed being with each other, and we laughed and just had a really nice time. And I think one of our best times was when we really fooled Grandma with the dessert cake.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that. And those are the pictures. And Mom had dipped this out and given it to Denny, and he sat there eating it, and I thought Grandma was just going to fall off the chair. When they finally realized that it was a dessert, she just said, "Boy, he's a bigger man than I am." Because she wouldn't have eaten. But this was just one of the many times that we got together at Mom's and always had a lot of fun, and you were always there when it really counted. I love you. Oh, great.
Yeah. She's only a 60-minute take.
And there's the gold shoes. Yes, gold shoes.
Yeah, supposed to be fun and happy.
You're not last.
Don't want to get out of the way.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, $50, she never gets through it.
Well, I just know a little thing about all the houses that we've lived in. And what I remember about Newburgh is the very first song that I ever got to sing in public with Mom was Scarlet Ribbons. And I had my one line. And I remember she brought pajamas and we were backstage. And she said, I said, I can't wear those on stage, so there's holes in the toes. And she was going, no, Grandma darned them. And Grandma Gladys had darned the holes in the tops of the pajamas. But also, when we lived there, these are just some of the memories I have. Melting crayons on the floor, great. In a book that Grandma had given me, so I kind of blew it up and drew it. And Michigan basements. Oh, I hated getting the winter boots out. Ooh, there's spiders and things in them. We used to tap dance on the boat in the backyard. And we had talent shows while you ironed. And the best part of the talent show was Denise and I'd go do our thing, and Kim would come out and she'd go, and we'd start applauding and Kim would quit. But I mostly remember the day that Grandma Gladys saved my life. And that was, Mom had gotten me all dressed up, and I don't remember where we were going or what we were doing, but I was in a nice dress, and I was sitting out on the front porch, and Mom told me to stay there and wait for Grandma. Well, when I saw Grandma coming down Newburgh Road, I ran and got on the bike, and I was going to show Grandma I could ride a two-wheeler. Well, when I got down the driveway, I hit a mud puddle, and the wheel slid out, and I fell in the mud puddle, and I was covered with mud from head to toe. And the only thing I remember is running on the porch, and Grandma running behind me, and Mom opening up the door, ready to kill me, and Grandma going, I'll clean her up, don't spank her, don't spank her.
Then I started laughing. And I got laughing. She looked so funny. And my mom said, I'll clean her up, I'll clean her up. And I start laughing, and Mom says, you ought to be lucky she isn't beating your mouth.
Then we lived on the house in Elmhurst. Now, this is a really bad drawing, so all you artists pay attention.
I remember this.
We used to spend a lot of time at Muck Moon Lake, which is really Half Moon Lake. Mom's biggest thing with us when we wanted to go into the water and we hated getting in the muck was, wear your tennis shoes. So we'd wear our tennis shoes, and then your tennis shoes would get stuck to the muck, and they'd get sucked off your feet. There's always a time that she used to cut our bangs. They're crooked. They're crooked. And Dad saying, well, Jean, what are you going to do when you run out of bangs? So all the time, us girls had these little mangy Eisenhower bangs. They were straight. And then there was the time that I had to stay up.
I was in kindergarten then.
Randy was homesick. And I went and turned on the stove and went back and laid down and I caught the house on fire. And caught the whole kitchen on fire. It was a grease fire. And we had to run across the street and get put.
Yeah,
and I was so afraid when Mom came home she'd be mad at me. And all she said is, oh boy, I'd get a new kitchen. Then there was the time we lived on Alton. And there was a time that Mom came home. She was working midnights at the post office and it had been snowing. And she ran in the house and she said, let's go make a snowman. So her and Kim and I ran out, and we made a snowman, and we just had so much fun. It was such a good time. And we went inside, and where we ever got a bottle of wine with a cork in it, I don't know. But we couldn't get the cork because we didn't have a corkscrew. So we took a hammer and a screwdriver and sat with our legs out and chipping away that cork with a hammer and a screwdriver until we finally got the cork pushed in. And after we'd had a few sips of wine, Mom said, everybody, all of us kids know how Dad used to hoard the stuff he'd get from the post office as gifts. He would never let any of us touch it. Didn't matter how much of it he had. He'd let it sit under the bed and get buggy rather than let us kids eat any of it. So Mom and I were sitting there drinking, and she said, Debbie, sneak in our bedroom and get under the bed and get your dad's nuts and bring them back out. And the last little thing is, Daryl had Mother convinced for a long time that the reason that the birds sat on the wires was to keep their feet warm. See
how gullible I was.
My turn. Kim's going.
Kim's up.
Do I have time to put my wide angle lens in?
To do your what?
Put my wide angle lens in.
Let's see. Okay, I've got mine all written out here too, because I sure can't remember everything. So, like Debbie, I wasn't able to come up with one specific memory, but have a whole series of things that remind me of childhood little deja vus. Lilacs will always remind me of Mom. I think she even stole one from an abandoned old house while his kid sat in the car. Didn't you go pick one up?
Well, I'll tell you what, just yesterday I stopped alongside of Ravenswood.
No.
Matthew said, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to get some lilacs. Because there's a lilac tree just down from where Debbie Cremens lives that used to be her dad's property, and he sold it, and they're going to be building homes in there. So I stopped and I ran across the street and got some lilacs and brought them home.
And then right along with lilacs is forsythia. I'll always remember Mom saying forsythia. I don't think I've ever heard anybody else say forsythia as much as I heard Mom say forsythia. But can she spell it?
No, I can't.
Now, Mom had her hands full with all that pack of kids that she had. And I remember how amazed I was when I realized at the age that she had her first child, that I had my first child, she had 5. That by the time that she was 26, she had 5 kids. Oh my gosh, think of the youth that you left behind. Man, I would never have missed out on my 20s. And I might have a few more brain cells if I had. But we did get to see Mom grow up. And I remember when she got her driver's license, and when she wore makeup for the first time, and when she smoked cigarettes for the first time. And I especially remember when she passed that civil service exam. Finally.
7 times.
We got to see her get married, and we saw her graduate, and we even taught her how to dance. Now, We got to put this CD in.
Yeah.
I hope it works. I don't know. We might need to. You want to put it back there?
Well,
you want to put it in that one?
I didn't have any luck earlier. I figured out this,
Oh, what was over there?
since there's
I'll give you
someone
the
back
whole
in the
thing.
corner.
You catch it?
What's this under? I guess we'll see, huh? Noise.
You can go to
Just set up.
accessories and then go to entertainment and go to CD player. Yeah, so it just pops up too.
What?
Ah, you found the coffee.
If you open up the disk drive and push back in, it should start.
Is it coming?
Yeah.
I can try this one here.
Coffee? A little coffee?
Yes. Oh, in a little while now.
Okay.
What one's it playing under?
Maybe that's why
Just,
it's there. Maybe it's my CD. No, I heard it play once.
Connection to that one.
There it goes.
I knew it.
Okay, that's I knew that song would bring back memories.
Yeah, everybody
Mom came home from
listens to
the Mom came home from the grocery store with that song. She was so excited she couldn't wait to share it with us girls, and we were like, we'd never heard of it before. So, even though she was a late bloomer, she was ahead of her time. Well, she was into that colored hairspray eons ago. Man, I thought she looked so elegant with those gold highlights in her hair. Speaking of hair, was she brunette or was she a blonde? She kind of went back and forth, I guess, to keep us on our toes, kind of like rearranging the kitchen. I'll never forget the time when I was seeing that guy Mike Byer, and Mom was brunette Mom, and he saw a picture of blonde Mom and said, "Wow, that's your mom?" I always had the biggest crush on her when I used to go into the post office for my dad. I always thought of her as my Mrs. Robinson. But then there was the time when Mom was brunette Mom and still wanted to be blonde Mom, and really more than anything wanted a wig. And I think that we all remember the time. I put the pins in the eyeballs. I did the makeup. I know I did. That was some nice makeup. Okay. So back to all those kids. Can you imagine trying to be a mom to so many of us? How can one person do it? And she even had the strength to continue on into her 40s. And aren't we grateful that she did that? As a child, I remember one of the biggest treats that was to get to be chosen to go to the grocery store with Mom. Now having kids of my own, I have no idea how she kept track of whose turn it was to go. But what an honor it was, and why?
Yeah!
And man, I always felt so guilty because we'd sit there and eat those crackers before they were paid for. It was like doing something bad.
Yeah. But she always paid for it.
Yeah, we always had to sit it up there.
always had the box.
So how did you decide which one of us got to go, Mom?
I don't remember. She probably didn't keep that.
I know.
But we just didn't know any different.
Whoever needed to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And just knowing how busy my three kept me, Mom, with school activities, it was amazing that you had time to split between all of us. There were so many obstacles, like the time Mom offered to bring the movie projector to school to show my class our home movies of Seattle. And you were late in getting there, and of course I was getting a little nervous and embarrassed and thinking, oh my gosh, he's not going to come. And you showed up, and the car had broken down. Oh, what a surprise. And you had ended up walking in the snow halfway to Gallimore School carrying the projector and the movies. I don't think I ever told you how proud I was of you, and thank you, Mom. Anyway, of course, there are all those little things that we have inherited from her, both genetically and materialistically. Like this. Yeah, why? It's wrong.
Oh, there was blue and green.
Green wallpaper. With the gold foil.
And then the one thing that has come back to haunt me, and my kids are probably even more ruthless than we are, and I just hate to admit it more than anything, but it can't be done about the cry.
Marla's heard that so much the past month.
He just cried yesterday.
And I don't even
Mom's
that
doing it.
for
I
your
said,
kids.
what?
I've lived through it long enough.
I'm pretty serious.
We do all cry already. So my kids have it down pat, and just so that you know, they love to make fun of me too. But just wait, justice will be served. Yeah. And of course, the most memorable thing for me was your singing.
Can we have $1 and some change?
Sure you can.
Whoa.
Whoa, wrong timing.
We're going to call a policeman if he keeps running here like that.
We got to be here. You know,
What are you guys doing?
Well, sit down and then sit down and enjoy it.
We're talking about grandma. So one of the most memorable things for me about Mom was her singing, from the church choir to Doris Day. I remember playing outside with friends while Mom sang in the house, and they thought it was the radio, but no, it was Mom. Singing as she ironed. You remember how the house smelled like iron clothes and corn and stars when we came home from school?
Mommy, can I have $1?
There are vivid memories I share of Mom singing now. I was young, but this one stands in my mind like a memory. I don't know where we were or how we got there, but Mom was going to sing, and I was so excited. It was a large hall filled with people, and she was way up there on the stage. And I'm not sure if I'm envious or jealous of Debbie with the hole in her toe. But I can just remember that image so clear, and to this day, 2 words can bring me to tears. And take me back to that moment when I burst for love for Mom and her beautiful singing. I peeked in to say goodnight. Debbie. And that's all.
Good, Tim.
It's a lot. I think it was yours. Wasn't mine. We put your ball baby.
Yeah.
You raised a bunch of I want you to know that. Look at her. Oh, all right.
Okay,
Yeah.
now it's the baby girl's turn. Mine's not like a heartwarming to start.
I know what
Oh, here we go.
And then there was that time that
There was a time you almost hit me with a broom.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but it's why I used the broom
wasn't on you though, it was on the door frame.
She missed.
The one, you all have your certain flowers, but the flower for me is a gardenia. The smell of a gardenia reminds me of my mom. And the one lullaby I can remember you singing to me was up when we were up north, and I know I had to be like 4 or 5 years old, and I couldn't go to sleep. I was having nightmares in the cabin. And you came in there and sang to me, lullaby and good night. And you just sat there singing to me, and I remember falling asleep to my mom singing to me. And you taught me how to share. If you don't clean up your room, I'm going to give your toys away to little boys and girls. And one of my fondest memories is our trip to Florida and going down to see Grandma Gladys. And here I am whining because we can't go to Disneyland, not even taking into consideration that Mom's 42 years old and 7 months pregnant. And I'm whining because we can't go to Disneyland.
I was 43.
Yeah, I guess you were then. Yeah. And then there was the birthday that I asked you if we could go to Farrell's. And you said, no, we're not going to that place. And Denise was there, and we were driving in the van, and Denise spilt my crayons. And you said, Patsy, pick up your crayons! So I'm down scooting around on the floor of the van picking up all the crayons. And when I popped up, we were in Farrell's parking lot. And Jamie and Randy made pics of themselves. They ate the dry.
I was going to say, I thought we took you to Farrell.
And then it's Mom and Mark both together that have taught me to have an appreciation of the game of hockey. And it's not so much listening to Mom going, woohoo! But it's being a 14-year-old girl and they'd invite these players over for dinner and talk about hubba hubba. Does Davy Faulkner ring a bell? You also taught me to put a napkin on my lap, chew in my mouth, keep my mouth closed when I chew, sit up straight. This is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. Stop that crying or I'll give you something to cry about. But you also taught me to stick to it. And you taught me that you stick to it even in a marriage, that you stay there till you just possibly can't take anymore. And I know you did that, Mom. And I know that you left before your spirit was broken as a person, and you had to do what you had to do. And I understand that. And I understand that now as an adult that's had to go through that same thing. And I, too, have learned that as a mom, that I now realize that a mother's love is always there. Even when your mom's not there, your mother's love's there for you, and always will be. And I just have one other question for you. There was this time that I had to be 10 years old, and I had to pick a Christmas gift out for Barb. And you said, well, what do you want to get her? And I said, well, Barb wants underwear. And you said, well, what size does she wear? And I said, well, she wears a size 10. And so we got Barb's size 10 underwear. No, wait a minute. I've never told you this all these years, but Barb was so pissed off when she opened up these underwear. Because she thought you did it on purpose.
I don't think I'd even met Barb, but
these are for you. May you never grow into them.
Very good, Nancy.
okay. This way and this way and this way. Isn't that neat?
Yeah, do I go say something?
Oh my.
Come on, get up. Okay? Just say something. You just say happy birthday. Come on, get up. Walk over here. Come on over here, stand by. Go over here. What? Well, on the way over, I'll say just a little something. There's a lot of love here in this room. That's wonderful. Great family. Love you all. Your mother's a very loving gal too, and that it all starts here, I think.
Yes.
She's a very loving woman. I love her.
Whenever you needed help, I would help you. Helped you with your schoolwork. Helped you with your learning Braille.
And can Mom cook? Can Mom cook? Now she says she wasn't much of a cook before. Is that right?
I have always liked Mom. I've never had a problem.
Matter of fact, Nan used to dive head first in the
That was only when Mom made me sit at the table till I finished. I fall asleep first.
I helped you with your Braille. I would use you had the flashcards. And
that's right.
And I remember when Danielle was saved from Matthew at the house from Grandma, because I thought Matthew was going to go kiss Danielle.
Oh, yeah.
And I go, look, he's going to give her a kiss. And Mom hit the back door, and by then he'd latched onto Danielle's bottom lip and bit it. And Mom would bite back, but she'd never know how hard because she had that upper plate in
How about you? Oh, you're here.
Well,
We love you too.
Give Mom a kiss. Give Mom a kiss.
Here, feel my crown. It's getting warm on your
Should we do the grandkids in age order too?
Yeah. We need a
No, Amy?
Yeah, man, you're it.
Why does that mean I have to come up in front of everybody?
Yes.
Look, me and Jane get to do.
Congratulations, make fools of themselves.
That was tough, wasn't it?
What a stretch.
Never mind that son. That was Matthew. Come here. Okay.
This was shortly after I had gotten my tattoo. And it took me forever just to even try and tell my parents that I got one. And I remember it was at your guys' old house. And we were all there together. And I don't know if Mom mentioned it or somebody mentioned it. And so, of course, I had to show everybody. Grandma didn't believe it. So I've got my shirt all hiked up. And Grandma's, I don't believe, that's not real. She comes walking up.
There, you gotta spin that! You gotta look at that.
The dirty tissue that's been in her pocket.
Sorry. I don't think we still do, but these dresses that you made for Danielle and I were my absolute favorite. They were so soft and warm.
To wear them all the time.
Yeah. Even when I outgrew it, I still try to fit into it. But this is the blanket that Grandma Gladys made for me, and it's my absolute favorite thing. You saved it for me. I wore it out, and the best part was that you kept this, the original part. 1987 was the year that she made it for me. And you fixed it, made it all better.
You got your head back.
Older.
No.
You get to it?
I think so.
I just got a few things that mainly just everything, or a lot of things that we would do over at Grandma and Grandpa's house. I don't know which house it was, but right next to it had all the cattails.
I remember that.
Stormwood. Yeah, and that's also where we played a lot of the basketball. I think.
Yeah.
For sure. So.
I can remember the time Jamie and Randy.
Yeah,
they got playing out there, and one of them. Was it you that fell into the ditch?
No, one was supposed to be holding on to the other one, and you let him go.
Oh,
And
yeah,
he fell
let
in.
go out of their money.
And then they were fighting trying to get the other one in there.
I just remember being there and always going over to your house and playing the putt-putt golf on the little green.
Yeah.
Spit it back out. And, well, with my blanket, saving my blanket too, because I still sleep with it.
They'll only last so long.
They'll hopefully last a lot longer.
Yeah, I don't think I can fix them.
Not Andy with the machine. Well, once
we can't do a third
once
generation
the material's gone, there's nothing you can do with it.
Once he's married, he'll get a new blanket.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
No.
As soon as though there was one other thing, and it slipped my mind. I was thinking about it on my way. Yeah, like playing horseshoes.
Oh, yes, Grandpa had a horseshoe there.
Yeah. Just a lot of good memories. Oh, I know what it was. It wasn't the horseshoes, but I can't remember if it was you or Grandpa that I made 6 pieces of bread with butter on them. And I could swear to God that I was going to eat them all, and I ended up not eating them all, so I went around to everybody in the family, like asking if they wanted a piece of bread with butter on it. I think it was you that said not to make so many. But
So now he only makes 5.
Thank you.
I would like to know where that hubba 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 boys hubba comes from. You remember when Rainey and I played Little League? We'd be standing out in the outfield.
Hubba hubba boys.
Hubba 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 boys. Hubba hubba hubba. It's like, oh my God. Who the hell is this lady?
That was from watching your dad play football.
What about?
Oh yeah.
Woo, doodle! Or she sound like a train. Woo! When they round third base.
And my favorite one at hockey is go. Let's see. Go, Cats, go! Go, go, go!
Gold flags. I remember the first time me and Jane went to hockey. I'm sitting in the East Upper. We're sitting there, and always know Mom is this quiet little thing, and then we're looking at the wall behind. So
Just sounded
marks
from pucks.
Boys, you gotta watch your buck now. I'm like, holy crap, what are we doing over here? And then the game starts, and here comes this monster come out. Me and Jamie look at each other. That's our mom.
Man. Start growing horns. What happened to our mom?
Okay, you shit that dog.
Okay, this one, Brenna actually thought about it, and then we were going to make this together, but she didn't come down. But it's called Warning, and I kind of modified it a little bit to suit you. Okay. When I am old, I shall wear gold, with sparkles that suit me. I shall spend my pension on brandy and summer gloves, and glittery sandals, and say we've no money for butter. I shall sit down on the pavement when I'm tired, and gobble up samples in shops and press alarm bells, and run my stick along the public railings, and make up for the sobriety of my youth. I shall go out of my shiny slippers in the rain and pick flowers in other people's gardens. And learn to spit. You can wear terrible shirts and grow more fat and eat 3 pounds of sausages at a go, or only bread and pickle for a week, and hoard pens and pencils and beer mats and things in boxes. But now we must have clothes that keep us dry and pay our rent and not swear in the street and set a good example for the children. We must have friends to dinner and read the papers. But maybe I ought to practice a little now, so people who know me are not so shocked and surprised when suddenly I'm old and start to wear gold.
A tribute to the gold shoe. Oh, is anybody else? Is that it?
Well, really didn't know all this was going on. We sit around and think about memories. But I just want you to know that I love you very much. And
Well, is it time to...
Huh?
Did you say?
We all went together and got you a really nice shotgun.
So the boys can fight over it when you die.
Right. So I just have one thing to say, Mom. We were emailing back and forth on what we were going to get you. And we were bungee jumping, and then Laura wrote back and said, how about a stripper? And then we were like, how about a bungee jumper stripping? And then it went on, how about Mom with the bungee and the stripper bungee jumping?
Now wait a minute, are you talking about me and a bungee jumper stripper?
Yeah.
Or for Mark, a bungee jumper stripper?
No, it'd be for you. And then we wanted to see the look on Mark's face when you got
They
the
were
bungee
talking,
jumping.
and they were talking about a male stripper.
Yeah.
Oh!
We didn't want to see Mark bungee jumping.
There's a bunch of cards up. Oh, wait a minute. Should I give her Jeremy?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, give her. First, give her that one. Even though my kids couldn't be here, this came from this was especially Jeremy's side.
I open letters like tear them all apart. Mark says, we do have a letter opener.
Well, that's where I get that from. I always just stick my finger in and rip it up. You don't want to save the envelope anyway.
Gene, some money.
It's a check for $5.
Hey, you know what? Full crap. The little kids get $10.
But we don't have as many to give to.
Clay and Lily get them checks and go, hey, there!
It's a joke.
Hey, $5 is better than nothing.
I know.
Tell him I'll spend it wisely.
Well, did you see what he put in there?
What did I miss? Don't eat it all.
Don't spend it all.
Oh, yeah, I see the spend.
Don't spend it all in one place. How do you do that?
Let's see. My class called that.
Oh, she broke the string. She's going to have a baby. Not another one.
EU for the...
Another EU.
Not that noise.
You still haven't gotten your nap, have you?
No.
Doesn't that guy Oh. Yeah, just some more.
Mom, you don't have to save the paper.
Yeah. Read that stuff over.
That's a first.
New mom.
You can say it right.
Oh, no.
All right.
With all these people around, I want to see what's going on.
You need something to cut that with.
I was gonna say I didn't put that much on there.
Lucky Denise didn't do it.
It's stock in 3M.
I wish.
It's so light. I'm afraid to.
Little.
God help her, Kim. She's making me nervous.
Short bar. Short little bar.
That beautiful. Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
Jeez, I guess that egg did me.
Like Kim showed
Yeah, I didn't get it either, Mom.
Mom,
what are you gonna put in it?
Play the bottom. Turn the bottom.
Turn the bottom.
Oh. So you think you like that better than the TV
Vanilla
internet?
shotgun.
I think she would like the shotgun better.
Well, there was also a joke going around in the email, and then who's going to get it? Then
I
who's
said
going to
it.
get? Yeah.
I said, all right, so what, guys? So let's get her an egg so we can all fight about it when she dies.
So we just said, get the egg, so all of us girls are going to fight over it. That's why the boys said they'd get her a shotgun. So we can fight. So we decided, we all decided through email that Tierney should be left to Tierney.
There you go.
Let me see. Is that a real egg?
Yes, it's
We have a story, but you can't tell.
I won't make it through it.
Well, you can go tell me about myself.
I tried. I was right before Laura's mom died, we were over there, and I was telling her mom a story, and she fell asleep on me.
She looked at me like, what do I do? Do I keep telling the story? And I just lost it.
God. Do I continue?
Does she hear me?
What?
She was under the influence of many good drugs. No, that was even before she was in the hospital. We went on a Saturday to sit with her at the house, and she just fell asleep in the chair.
They're bird houses. They love making bird houses.
That's good.
I know it is.
I know, it is very sweet. You know what?
Where is that?
A little like electric thing or something?
A what?
Like an electric light?
What the hell is it doing here?
Stationary. Or over a light. Yeah.
It's supposed to be over here for the kids.
Is that salt and
Like
pepper?
I said. They really like making bird houses.
I thought you got that on tape.
Can I at least have a kiss?
No, they're gone. They're already at the road. Karen?
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Laura, can you pass Mom those other cards?
Oh,
and-
sure. Too late. You want to see the birdhouses?
Yeah.
Take it over there.
There we go.
This
No, I wanted to do that. I'm running on film.
Now, there's the birthday. Do you know what I've done? My shelves are in the dining room that I had knickknacks and that. I put all those away. And I got out all my Beanie Babies and Bears and put them on those shelves. So I got another one to put down.
One thing you gotta do for Clay and Lily is you gotta sing for them. There was some commercial on the radio, like some opera that was coming into town. And we're going, oh, that sounds like Mom. And Clay and Lily are going, what? No, she don't sound like that. And we're going, yes, she does. So we told him, next time you see her, ask her if she'll sing for you.
Thank you, Derek. You thank Deb for me.
I will.
Sorry.
Just got a big inspection on Tuesday.
I had to go out and like unsubscribe or something and take it off my system and redo it. And because every time I try to get new images, I'd go to 4, 8, like 12, 100.
Yeah, that's the one I was doing.
And now I figured out that if I just keep on doing it, keep on trying to, check new image, and then every once in a while I get it going.
Okay.
Yeah, but I got like last year's and this year's.
I can't believe they haven't yet. Mine do pick out certain ones.
Yeah. Well, that's like some of these I don't like. I'll take off out of them.
So I need to go through and uninstall it and then
Well, you can try it, but because that's like when you go to do the
Do not do that to my face.
thing in the bottom.
Yeah.
It still hurts.
All right, Kim. You start.
Kim's gonna start. She's gonna lead.
Oh, Karen always starts happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
I'm glad my choir is
Great. Another one paying your tuckers.
In California, the Mexican restaurants, the Mexican waiters come out, they make it sound like a funeral.
One breath.
There you go.